Hi, I'm Dave from Baking with Fox Hollow Kitchen. Do you want an easy recipe for homemade lasagna? Of course you do. Well, join me today and I'll show you how it's done. Hello to all my Fox Hollow fam. I'm Dave and welcome to Baking with Fox Hollow Kitchen. Today's recipe is one that I've wanted to try for a long time. We're going to show you how to make homemade lasagna with our very own meat sauce. It's meaty, it's cheesy, and it's amazingly delicious. You're going to love it. So if you're ready, then let's have some fun. Okay, the first thing we need to do is cook some noodles for our lasagna. I have about a dozen or more of these lasagna noodles and some boiling water with salt in it. And I'm going to place these in here. I actually have about 14. We're going to use 12. I want a couple extra in case they split or break or something or stick together, just so that we have extra. Typical box comes with about 18. You don't need that many. We're just going to use 12. And we're going to stick this in here. Don't want them to stick together. And we're going to boil these for about 10 minutes. Until they're al dente. We don't want them to be cooked completely. We want them a little bit chewy because we're going to be baking them in the oven. And then once they're completely cooked to al dente, we're going to take them out and strain them and rinse them in cold water so they don't stick together, and then set them aside. The next thing I'm going to do is I have a little bit of oil in my pan over medium heat. I'm going to put in a pound of ground beef. You can use half and half ground beef and ground pork, or ground beef and ground sausage, or turkey, or any other meat that you want. I'm using a pound of ground beef. Then you put in a diced onion, a small onion, or in this case half of a large onion, whichever your local store has, and two cloves of garlic minced. And we're going to cook this beef over medium heat until it's browned. We can also add a little salt and pepper, which is what I'm going to do. And then there we go. We're just going to brown this ground beef with the onions and garlic. Okay, I've got my beef browned here, and I drained off any excess fat that's on it. And what we're going to do to this is we're going to add 2 cans, 15-ounce cans of tomato sauce. Get it all out of here. And 2 cans. Cans, 6-ounce cans of tomato paste. So we'll thicken it up a little bit. That's one. Here's another. There you go. And a half teaspoon of black pepper and a half teaspoon of oregano and 2 to 4 tablespoons of grated Parmesan cheese, because we got to have cheese everywhere. And we're just going to stir this until it is mixed with our sauce. We get a nice sauce going. Get it completely mixed together. And it makes quite a bit of this meat sauce. And it's pretty thick too. So that's what we want. Okay, and then once I get this mixed together, that it's warm, we are going to set it aside and move on. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I have 16 ounces of mozzarella cheese and I'm just going to shred it. It's better to have your own shredded cheese than you can buy it in the bag, but pre-shredded. But the stuff you shred yourself is a little meltier, so I like to use that. So we're just going to shred some cheese here. This should make about 4 cups of shredded cheese when we're done, approximately. So we're just going to have at it. There we go, that's the last of it. We're going to set this aside and move on to some other ingredients. The next thing I need is another ½ cup of grated Parmesan cheese. So I have a block of it here, and I'm just going to grate that up and get about a ½ cup out of it. Okay, I think that's way more than ½ cup, so we are ready to go. To start our cheese filling, I have a little over a heaping cup of small curd cottage cheese here. I'm going to put about half of it in our food processor. Not all of it. You can put all of it if you want, but I'm going to do about half of it in our food processor. Leave the other half go. And I'm just going to cream this really gently in our food processor. It makes the cheese filling a little creamier is all. That's more than enough. And then we're going to set this aside.
Okay, Dave, what do we got going on here?
Okay, well, next we're going to make our cheese filling, which has a lot of little ingredients in it. So we're going to get started. I'm going to take 2 cups of ricotta cheese.
What is it?
Ricotta.
Thank you.
Okay. The cottage cheese that I creamed earlier, that's kind of like a wet ricotta.
Cream or queen?
Creamed it.
Creamed it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the rest of my cottage cheese. This just gives it a little creamier consistency. To that we're going to add about 1/3 of our mozzarella,
Okay.
cup and a half or so.
Now, I noticed earlier you did a block of this, and why do you always do that?
Because it's the pre-shredded cheese has an anti-clumping agent that makes it not as creamy when it melts. It's not as melty.
Okay.
We're going to do a 1/4 cup of our grated Parmesan cheese.
Okay.
1 egg.
It's better when you just do the fresh ingredients.
Oh yeah. And 1 or 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. We'll start with 1 and see how that looks.
Okay.
And we're just going to kind of mix this together with the egg till we get our cheese filling, which complements the ground beef filling.
And the noodles also.
And the noodles, yes. Start with a fork, it gets it all mixed in there pretty good. Get
Looks
that
pretty
egg
good.
mixed in. That actually looks pretty good. Do you think it needs more Italian seasoning?
Nah.
No, you think it's good? Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to overdo
Or
it.
overpower it. Okay, I think we are ready to start assembling our lasagna. Okay, now it's time to assemble our lasagna. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to take about a cup. I have a cup scoop here. We're going to take about a cup of our meat sauce and spread it over the bottom. And just get it kind of spread over the bottom of our 13x9 pan here.
Okay.
Spread it evenly out. That's some pretty good red sauce.
Yeah. I'm glad I got to sample here a little bit ago.
Yeah, it's really good. Okay, and then we're going to take 3 noodles
Okay.
and stick them across here. It's okay if they overlap a little bit. Okay. Once that's done, we're going to take about a third of our cheese mixture that I just made.
Okay.
About a third of it roughly, and spread it over the top of the noodles.
And of course it isn't a Fox Hollow episode with stuff.
If stuff that goes everywhere.
Stuff doesn't go flying.
Okay. We're just going to spread this out really good.
At least it's you this time, not me, that's sending stuff airborne.
Yeah, it always goes somewhere.
And definitely, this is a definitely hearty meal now that the weather is turning colder.
Absolutely.
So, this will stick to your bones.
Yep. Okay. A little bit more of this, I think. Up here.
Yeah, I think you need in that corner a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get it the whole way to the edge of the noodles, if you can. There we go. I think that's good for right now.
Yep.
That's about a third, and then we're going to do another cup of our meat mixture on top of that. It's going to be harder to spread out, so I'm going to do it as best I can before I get it all in there. Okay. It's going to be a little harder to spread out this time, because I don't want to disturb the cheese too much.
Yeah.
We're going to spread it out as best we can.
You definitely want to have everything kind of blend together.
Yeah, we want it to be a layer on top. There we go. That's going good. And then we're going to do 3 more noodles.
Okay.
And we're just going to keep repeating that 2 more times.
Just building it until...
Yep. And then end with a layer of noodles. We're going to do cheese and meat, and then noodles, and then cheese and meat, and then noodles again.
Okay. I'm going to let you go ahead and do this, and you can show everybody the finished product now.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, I'm just putting the final layer of our meat sauce on here.
Okay.
After the final layer of cheese.
Yeah, it smells really good already.
It does smell good already. And then what we're going to do is put 3 more noodles on top.
Okay.
Let me get 3 out here. Made a couple extra because I do see that a couple of them are falling apart on me. So I'll always make a couple extra just in case. And there we go. That's our last of our noodles. And then we're just going to take the rest of our sauce that we didn't use and just pour it over top of everything.
Okay.
Any of the sauce that's left.
And then how long are you going to put this in the oven for?
Okay, we're going to bake this at 350 degrees.
Okay.
For 30 minutes with foil on top of it at first. And then we're going to take it out and put cheese on it and bake it another 30 minutes. So we'll show that here in a minute. Right now I just want to get all of this meat sauce on here that we need. Some of it will drip down the sides. That's okay. That's kind of what we want. Just going to get this all on here. Okay, that's it. We're going to throw this in the oven.
All right, looks awesome.
Okay, after this has baked for half an hour with the foil on, we're going to gently remove our foil. Looking good there. And what we're going to do is we're going to sprinkle the rest of our mozzarella cheese on top. That's looking real good. It smells good too. Just gonna sprinkle this cheese on whatever we have left. And on top of that, we're gonna sprinkle the rest of our grated Parmesan. Should be about a 1/4 cup left. And there you go. I'm gonna carefully put our foil back on We're going to bake this again for another half an hour, 15 minutes with the foil on and then another 15 with the foil off. The foil keeps the moisture inside, but we do want to kind of brown the cheese just a little bit, just not too much. So we're going to put it back in the oven for 30 minutes. And now for the best part, the taste test. Let's get a little piece off of here on my fork. Oh my goodness, that is so great. You guys are going to love it. Wrapping up today, I want to thank you all for joining us and encourage you to check out our friends and support channels listed in the description below. But before I go, always remember, good times and good food on Baking with Fox Hollow Kitchen. We'll see you soon.
If you like this video or any of our other videos,
Be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons and stay tuned for future shows.